As a director of the BYU New Horizons Orchestra, I've seen a lack in the amount of understanding we have about adult music learners and how they learn. There are a number of adult learning theories that propose ways in which adults learn. In these theories, I've found principles that hold particular importance and interest for adult music education, and I'd like to explore them here. First, the why. The number of older adults in the United States has increased drastically and will continue to increase in coming years. Many of these adults are energetic and healthy due to medical and societal advances. Research has even coined a new stage of life called the third age. This is the time between retirement and the beginning of age-imposed limitations. In the lives of these third agers, we see a desire to learn and grow, and we as teachers must know how to best help them do that. In the past century, researchers have expanded the definition of intelligence to include much more than just cognitive reasoning and abstract thinking. We've divided intelligence into two categories, fluid and crystallized. Fluid intelligence includes abstract reasoning, response speed, and pattern recognition, and tends to decrease with age. However, crystallized intelligence, or intelligence gained through life experience, is thought to increase with age as individuals collect more experience and therefore more intelligence throughout life. Some research even proposes that intelligence may not decrease with age but remain stable, simply changing forms as we age. Some directors of adult novice ensembles have reported that adults applied analogies better and gravitated toward more expressive playing and nuance. The directors attributed this to the wealth of experience each adult carried with them, which reinforces the concept of crystallized intelligence. Amid this emerging research regarding intelligence, Knowles coined the term andragogy in 1968. He developed a set of assumptions about adult learners. Two of them state that adults have matured away from dependence towards self-direction, and two, have accumulated a wealth of knowledge and experience, which is a rich resource for learning. Music education researchers have observed these characteristics in adult learners. In one study, many adults thought they were more motivated than children and attributed this to their maturity. Knowles also contributed to the literature regarding self-directed learning with an 8-step process that facilitators can follow to guide self-directed learning. Despite the appeal of the organization of this list, some researchers have found the process to be much less linear. The notion of cyclical learning impacted another recently developed learning theory, experiential learning. Kolb developed an experiential learning cycle where the learner first has a concrete experience, then reflects on this experience from many different perspectives, creates concepts from these observations, and uses the resulting theories to solve problems. Brookfield also proposed critical thinking and reflection as a way to challenge assumptions and achieve autonomy. The process of critical thinking involves the learner assessing their assumptions, beliefs, and actions. He also suggests that facilitators of adult learners introduce critical theory by first fostering critical reflection. Many of these theories refer to facilitation as the ideal strategy for teaching adults. In music education, researchers have observed that facilitation supports self-directed learning and may enhance motivation. Findings showed that autonomy played an important role in the motivation and positive experience of some adult novice ensembles. Recent research prioritizes the context of the learner as a very important part of the learning experience. Context includes spatial context, which indicates where the learner is spatially situated, and sociocultural context, which refers to culture and social experiences that shape their learning. In music education, we see the impact of context and how it shapes the experience and structure of learning. In a culture of independent learners, some studies found that in the context of a musical ensemble setting, adults enjoyed being dependent on each other, which seems to defy the focal characteristic of most adult learning theories, self-directed learning. Some adults in one study believed that power sharing may not be conducive to group music rehearsals, though both directors in the study valued and used power sharing. These preferences likely stem from the fact that current band and orchestra models in North America replicate the high school ensemble setting, which focuses heavily on pedagogic strategies. In this case, the cultural context of group music instruction continues the long-standing tradition of authoritarian music instruction, which impacts the expectations of adult learners in favor of teacher-centered learning or directive approaches. In summary, many adult learning theories all agree that adults have vast potential to be intrinsically motivated and self-directed. However, adult musicians in ensembles tend to prefer a directive approach, which contradicts the assumptions of general adult education research. This contradiction requires further research and exploration. We need to understand why learners resist self-directed learning and critical reflection, and we need to explore the benefits and downfalls of this type of instruction in the music classroom. Rather than using resistance as a reason to rule out learner-centered teaching or facilitation, ideally we will experiment with ways to gently incorporate it into our ensembles. This will provide our field with invaluable knowledge and experience as we learn how general adult education theories align with the context of music education.